Alright, good deal, guys. What's going on? You don't have to be SSH'd or anything in to do this. As you remember on our last one here, everything got up, but we couldn't log in. It seems that the password got stuck up. Okay, and I've had this happen a few times, and I'm gonna show you how to get around that. Now, I switched back to my Slackware machine that I like uh, a little better than recording on my um, Ubuntu machine. Okay, so you need to have the live CD for this. Okay, you have it already, but basically you have to fix this up. So, am I on screen? I am not on screen. Let me get some screen going here. Control A, Shift S, Control A Tab, Control A, Control C, Control A, Control Tab. I'm going to get the documentation and look at that. There's a few things we're going to pull from that that's going to help us out. Now let's say, I want to say links. There's my documentation. Desktop, LFS, that's my documentation. Okay. Now, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to add a user, we're going to give him root privileges, and we're going to modify the root user with that. Okay. So all the way back in the book, if you remember, we made a temporary user. Okay. So we're going to use that type of format to add the user to our LFS machine and give him root privileges, and then try to fix the root password with him. Okay, and then delete that user if you want to. It's up to you. Let's say I'm trying to Control A, Control X. With screen, this pops you out the big screen. Okay, so I'm going to full screen view going. The first thing I think we have to do is, don't mind this, I have to do this. Do not mind this. Actually, you have to be root. Say sudo. I already did this, so I'm going to do this again. You need to create a mount point. Alright, export LFS equals mount LFS. Okay, so if I echo out $LFS, alright, we have to create that variable, okay, because we're going to mount that. We're going to mount our LFS machine, and we have to chroot into it. We have to then, like I said, do all that, and then that's how we have to do it. So, I'm just trying to see if my mount points are right. LFS. No L, please. Okay. So I have a mount point LFS. But you have to say make directory LFS. Okay. I didn't get any output because my directory was already there. So that's done. Now let's say I want to mount my LFS partition, which is on SDA6. I'm going to mount that to my LFS. Okay. Okay. So you should get the, blah blah blah, mounted on thing. But since mine's already mounted, I'm not gonna get that. Now, CD and LFS look around. Okay. You don't need to do that. So let's say we have to Control A, Control A. Look at the documentation. I'm gonna split this again. Control A, Control S, Control A, Control Tab, Control A, C. Let's say exit. That brings me up in the prompt in the bottom. Now there's two mount commands, if you remember. Okay, let's see where it was. After we stripped off, right before section 7, we had to strip off and clean up. Okay, remember we had to log out, and we had to log back in, and we had to strip off the binaries. Okay, slim it up a little bit. And if you remember in 6.64, it says here, from now on, which is right now, when it sees rooting after exiting, use the following modified CHroot command. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now to CHroot into our system. So let's say CHroot $LFS user bin env-i UI. And we say home is going to equal / root term equals $, actually encapsulate that, $, term PS1 variable is going to equal escape U, stop, escape W, escape $. Okay, make sure you put a little space after that single quote there, so you don't, it'll chunk up your PS1 variable if you don't. And your PS1 variable is like your prompt. Say bin stop user bin. We're going to say sbin stop user sbin. Okay, new line. I'm going to say bin bash login. Bin bash login. User bin env CHroot. Okay, is my variable here. Let's say echo $LFS. Okay. Bin bash login. CHroot. Something's wrong here. Yeah, okay, that's screwed up. So, I left a stub in there where I tried the CHroot, but I guess I messed up the syntax. So let's try that. Okay. So now we are inside our LFS machine. Present working directory, root, list. Here's our LFS machine. Okay. So that's okay. We're in. Now we have to go all the way back up to the beginning, where we said all packages about LFS creating tools directory. Let's start here. Okay, we're not going to have to do any of that stuff. We're going to have to add the LFS user starting at 4.3. Okay, you guys remember this. So now we're in our machine. We have to add group, add, let's say LFS. Okay. User add S bin bash capabilities. Groups LFS. Make a home folder. Kdev null. And our username, temporary username is going to be LFS. Okay. So, I got that because the user already existed. Okay. So, you won't get that. Okay, so let's say password LFS. Now we have to assign him a password. Alright, you may get that little burp right there, okay? Seems like it defaults to, not defaults, but something a little fishy about that. So, now we have our temporary user in. Let's try to log in. Log in. I can't say password LFS because that's going to, yeah, see, that's not going to change anything. Let's log in. Let's say log in, enter. Now this is where your prompt should be when you boot up your machine. Okay, you can either log in as root or you can log in as the new user, which we just created, is LFS. So let's log in as the LFS user. Okay, and you see we're here. Okay, now it's an open password, which I said is dangerous. I don't like it at all. So we're going to change this password. Going to change this and say password LFS. Okay, can't change that. Not from here. Let's go. Let's say exit. Okay, now we're not the LFS user anymore, and I can actually get rid of the documentation for right now. And you need to, I'm going to pop out and cat my Etsy passwords file. Okay, you see here that we have LFS is, what do you say? This is the group ID and the user ID. Okay, so I want to change that. I want to give him unrestricted everything. Okay, and I'm saying control right quit. Now let's log in as the LFS user and do that. Let's say LFS open password. Let's say password too short. Okay. So let me say exit. That's out. I can't change the password from here. Let's reboot the machine, and we should get an open password when we reboot the machine. And then we'll assign the temporary user a user password. Okay. And we will try to fix the root password. Right? But we will be root. Okay. So let's do that. Exit that. Clear. And I'm just going to shut down after this. So let me cut the video, and I'll give you a cam shot on the next one.